Hello, everyone. All right. If you are joining me, I do apologize if you were on the previous video and you saw all of that moving around with the camera and everything. I was trying to switch my camera to landscape and it was too late. So I had to reset up this live stream for 15 minutes later. So I do apologize to anybody, but hopefully you found your way to the stream. We're going to be doing the Sagittarius Weekly. I'm just going to wait another minute until 1:15 Eastern Standard Time to let anybody who wanted to join. And then we're going to get right into your weekly spread, Sagittarius. Now, I am a Sagittarius myself. And I have a moon in Leo, Taurus rising. So I love reading for Sagittarius. I resonate with these readings. But of course, you do have to look at your whole chart, your natal chart, and you can check out, your moon placement readings, Venus placement readings, rising, to get a fuller picture of what you may or may not be going through. All right. So it's 1:15. Thank you very much for coming to this stream, this live stream for Bow and Arrow Tarot. This is the weekly reading for Sagittarius for October 13th to the 19th. And we are going to get right into pulling out your 3 romance angel messages, Sagittarius. To see what you may or may not be going through this week. And then we're going to pull out your animal spirits. First up, we have new love. All right, so for some of you, this new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings, right? Beautiful. We have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments, all right? It's beautiful. And we have this could be the one, right? You've already met the romantic partner you seek. The one you seek as well. This is very important. This could be the one. Very different than just new love, of course, but this could be the one. This is talking about, when there's a certain type of love or a certain type of lover we've been wanting in our lives for a while. We've met them, right? All right. So let's pull out your 3 animal spirits for the week, Sagittarius. Now, animal spirits can indicate events in your life, stages in your life. They can indicate energies that are coming in to support you. They can also indicate people you may be dealing with, right? Personalities, all right? So we're going to pull them out. And, of course, as always, I tell everyone, just take what applies to you. And if it doesn't apply, just disregard it. Of course, not everything is going to apply to all Sagittarius, and that's fine, too. All right. Let's get right into it, my brothers and sisters. My fellow Sagittarius tribe. I love being a Sagittarius personally. I mean, I also love my Taurus placement, my Taurus rising, but I love being a Sagittarius. All right, guys, we have upside down, we have the tiger. Beautiful. Wow. Strong, feminine energy, right? And there goes my camera flash. All right. You guys can still see the cards. Tiger energy talks about overcoming fear, right? Very strong feminine energy. This is feminine fire coming through. Obviously an apex animal, so very strong. Fish is next. We have, of course, water element, right? Fish, interesting. Because fish talks about slippery relationships, right? Very interesting indeed. All right, let's get... And the lion. Wow. What the actual fuck, Sagittarius? This is a lot of heavy energy this week, right? Certainly fire energy. Could have maybe met your match, right? In terms of a personality, right? We have 2 heavy fire animal spirits and 1 water. So let's just take a minute to look at these animal spirits, guys. My flash and my camera just went out, so if you bear with me, I'm going to try and see if I can bring some other light in that I have. All right, just hang on. I'll get this all straightened out in a minute. There we go. All right. Oh fuck. All right. So this is gonna. I'm on a delay, so this take me. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit more light. Sorry, you guys had to deal with that. Okay. But it's just a lot easier for me to show you the cards. All right, guys. So new love, forgiving and learning. This could be the one. Let's get right into these heavy, heavy animal spirits that we have. We can pull this down a little bit more. We have the tiger. All right. So what's the tiger all about? All right. The tiger is all about overcoming fear. All right. The tiger spirit is a very strong feminine spirit, animal spirit associated, right? Tigers hunt at night, right? And so it's the night, it's the darkness that does not frighten the tiger. And so in life, it's the same way. When we're going through periods in our lives where we're not sure what's going to happen, where we are perhaps having to really overcome our fears about unknown, whether that is unknown areas in our emotional center, in our emotional areas, or if it's unknown in our career or unknown spiritual journey. Whatever the case may be, we're talking about being in the dark, just like the tiger is. Hunting in the dark, but being at one with the dark. The tiger also is able to be very still and listen. The crescent moon at the third eye indicates the high level of intuition that the tiger also has and employs in terms of how it gets around in its daily sort of life and affairs, right? I'll move this up just a tiny bit. Now, we have this beautiful fish energy. Now, the fish energy is interesting. Fish energy is talking about the fish is caught up in life's currents, right? The fish loves to sort of swim free, swim with the current of life, right? Wherever life leads it, you can imagine, right? Very adventurous. Watery energy, however. So what we're talking about is being very slippery in relationships. This is what happens with fish energy, right? This is the person who's extremely carefree. They always have this kind of attitude like, well, I live life to the fullest, I'm not afraid to live life, but the problem with that, right? That's wonderful, and that's a wonderful sort of adventurous characteristic. But here we're talking about an animal spirit that lives in the emotions. And so what happens is that this personality is never taking time to go deeper, never taking time to solidify these emotional ties and connections. And so what we have is literally just like a fish, a very slippery individual, a person whose relationships start quickly, end quickly, fizzle out quickly. They're not committed. They're in your life one day, they're out of your life another day. You could very well be dealing with somebody right now, Sagittarius, who's like that. And I know for you, Sagittarius, you can't stand that shit because I'm a Sag and I can't stand that. I hate it when people are flaky like that. I consider that very flaky energy. All right. Uh, Sorry I'm adjusting my camera, guys, so much, but this is a live stream, and normally I'm able to do this at home when I'm recording. All right, so now we have the lion coming in. The lion is another apex predator, another very strong character, right? The lion seems to be unapproachable for a lot of folks, right? Oftentimes people consider lion energy to be very aloof, snobbish even. But the thing with the lion is that the lion is the highest card for sort of self-mastery, right? This is even when we see this with the Major Arcana 8 card, right, for strength. Strength is all about self-mastery, right? Mastering our emotions. Well, here the lion is the same way. This is one of the highest cards for self-mastery when it comes to a spiritual objective or physical objective. And so with the lion, you see here, his gaze is always fixed on his goal. And his goal, if his goal is that everything that he does, everything that he puts his mind to, or she puts her mind to, obviously these are not gender specific, everything the lion puts its mind to is going to be something that impacts that goal of self-mastery. So if it's something that is not fitting in with that, or if it's superfluous, if it's just bullshit, they don't entertain bullshit for that reason. And it's not because they think they're better than anyone or they're trying to be aloof, but it's simply because the lion doesn't have time for anything in its life that's not working towards its mastery, towards its self-mastery. It's that single-minded. And so people who look at the lion's sort of personality on the surface may come away feeling that this person is unapproachable, unattainable. However, those who are able to look a bit deeper into the lion's energy will understand that this is simply because this is how he has to be to master the sides of himself to the degree that he wants to. All right, guys, very strong energy. I'm going to say some of you guys are dealing with, Sagittarius, you may be resonating with Tiger and you're dealing with a lion, okay? Or you may be resonating with lion and you're dealing with a tiger energy. And in the middle is this slippery fish energy. It's quite interesting. So it could be that some of you are hooking up with someone who is your match in a lot of ways, but the relationship itself is proving to be a little bit slippery for whatever reason. All right. Now, if this is the case for some of you, and I'm tying these three together, if this is the case, go ahead and check out the monthly readings or the mid-month love check-in. There may be some insight there that impacts on this. Aside from that, this could just simply be the various sort of personalities that Sagittarius out there are resonating with. This is why I pull 3 cards, because I try to pull a variety of cards to show what type of energies you may be dealing with to so that the reading can be as broad as possible, right? So this particular collective of Sagittarians, you guys are dealing with a lot of heavy fire energy this week and this fish energy. And how that applies to you and your life is up to you, right? Take it as it applies to you, if it resonates with you at all. All right, now we're going to pull out about 5 or anywhere from 5 to 8 3-card forecasts. Now, these 3-card forecasts are going to be general, so they can be in love, life, and career Sagittarius. And it's just going to be, again, just cursory kind of look at various scenarios you may or may not be dealing with, situations you may or may not be involved with this week, Sagittarius. Yes, we're right side up. 4 of Swords, King of Swords, and we have Ace of Swords. Wow. All right, so immediately we're talking about a lot of mental energy. We're talking about a lot of almost a battle of, not necessarily a battle of wills, but certainly really engaging your tactics this week a lot. You know what I'm saying? Really sort of like having to think about the next move for a lot of things, right? Now, 4 of Swords talks about that energy of truce, right? It talks about this ability to go back to your corner, think about your next move, right? Some of you, right, are dealing with a situation that is calling for a lot of strategy right now. It's calling for you to really like think about what you're doing. Think about the next move you're making, right? This is all to do with your objective. What is your objective, right? This could be at work. This could even be with a relationship, right? There's an issue. King of Swords talks about getting to the truth of a matter, really getting to the heart of a matter. Some of you may be thinking about a relationship and really trying to understand why you're in this relationship. It could be that the relationship is going down a particular path and you're really kind of pulling back a little bit and thinking for yourself, like, well, how do I want to go with this? Is this the path I want this relationship to go down? Is this even a relationship I want to be in? I just feel very much like for some of you Sagittarius this week, it's like you're really in your head about a love connection that you have or some kind of personal connection with somebody. And it's certainly calling for, now, it may be you or maybe your person, they're insisting on sort of having this dialogue with you. It could be that they're very strict kind of, you may be dealing with somebody who's a little bit domineering as well. And you're thinking to yourself, do I really want to deal with this person? Because King of Swords is very domineering. He's the great rule maker. He's also the great disciplinarian, right? So you could be dealing with a very dominant sort of, dominant, submissive sort of almost interaction, connection, and you're beginning to sort of think, is this where I want to go? Interestingly enough, this is all about really opening up a new way of thinking for you. For some of you, you may be dealing with someone who's opening up a whole new kind of lifestyle for you, right? And again, with this Four of Swords, you're kind of getting your feet wet with this individual. But this is certainly some kind of connection you have, either in love or with a friend, that is all about a power dynamic, right? And it's really opening up a new way of interacting with people. Like I say, it could be a new lifestyle. Some of you may be getting into a kink lifestyle, right? This is what it reminds me of even. Like you may just be starting to get your feet wet with a little bit of power play, kink play, something like that. But this is certainly a new thing for you. It's a new concept for you. And there's a King of Swords who's really leading the way in this. This week, a lot of this gets heightened and centered for those of you who are resonating with this scenario. Another ace. A lot of new beginnings. Ace of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and Knight of Pentacles. So again, newness, right? We have new love in for romantic, for the romance angel message. So a lot of newness. This is our second ace now. Ace of Wands. Again, a new passion has come into your life. A new desire has come into your life. Ace of Wands is the great phallic symbol of the deck. So a lot of times when we talk about Ace of Wands, yes, it can be a new project or endeavor that you're very passionate about, but can also indicate a high level of sexual energy, sexual attraction. It can also indicate a new relationship that is very sort of sexually charged, highly physical, right? In any case, this is a very passionate start, right? The very passionate beginning to something. However, you are resonating with Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. Is quite interesting. So Queen of Pentacles talks about wanting to putting that time in, right? Really showing physically, effort to be able to manifest something. This could be the physical effort that you show in a business area, right? Or in a new project, right? Queen of Pentacles really treats her goals and objectives like her children, right? Like something that needs to be nurtured, something that she really puts her heart into. Queens are water, remember? So here we have the watery aspect of earth, which is pentacles. So we're talking about pouring our emotions into the manifestation, right? Physical manifestation of something, of a goal, right? And so this new thing could be something very, very dear to your heart. You may be taking the lead in arranging this new project. This could be a creative endeavor for some of you. Some of you, this could be certainly something you've always wanted to do, right? And maybe you were a bit fearful before, right? Now the tiger energy is coming in. Tiger energy is inherently a strong feminine energy, which is associated with creativity, right? And it could be that up until now, you may have been a little bit, not afraid, but anxious, hesitant to go down this path, to start this path. Well, somehow this has, you're overcoming this. Can also be that this Queen of Pentacles is someone who's come in to help you overcome your fear for starting this. Certainly, like I say, this is going to be something highly creative for some of you Sagittarians. It could be that you're starting a business in a creative endeavor, and you're starting to really feel like the self-confidence that, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can open up my own paint studio. Yes, I can go ahead and, start this project, which is a new way of, dealing with a particular social issue. It's something near and dear to your heart, something that you're very passionate about, but you're overcoming your fear, and certainly you're being either you're resonating with this Queen of Pentacles, or somebody is coming in and they're giving you a lot of strong, nurturing energy to help you manifest this in the real, showing you that it's okay to put your heart into these goals. This is the only way that you manifest them. And the Knight of Pentacles comes up, and I think that Knight of Pentacles is really just you, Sagittarius, committing to this goal now. You have committed. Because Knight of Pentacles, court cards are notoriously difficult to interpret for a lot of readers because they often misinterpret them always as individuals coming in. They're not that at all. They can oftentimes be, they're really various stages of us, our spirits, our energies sort of mastering these planes, right? So here we're mastering the field of Pentacles, the physical. Knight of Pentacles is indicating here to me, Sagittarius, that you're committing to this goal now. You won't be stopped anymore. It is, the Knight of Pentacles is the most committed knight in the deck. He's the knight that's going to achieve his goal no matter how long it takes. It may take a while, but he's going to be plotting and methodical, and he's going to stick with it. But it's a decision, and once that decision is made, he's locked in. He's not like the Knight of Cups, who's very flighty. And so in this way, what I'm saying is, Sagittarius, for those of you who've overcome your fear about this new creative beginning, this week you lock down your commitment to it. It can be that you may be getting some reaffirmations this week that things are certainly on the right track, that you are on the right track. And it's a very, very beautiful thing that happens. Certainly, it's a case of tiger energy for sure, and maybe even a little bit of lion energy in the sense that you are really mastering a particular side of yourself this week, Sagittarius. Six of Wands, High Priestess, and Queen of Wands. There's your victory. So now this is exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you are beginning to have a victory coming in. And this is why I pulled this kind of spread, guys, for the week. Because there is a running theme. And oftentimes the various forecasts are people who are at different stages of the theme. Here we have the Six of Wands in the sense that this is for the Sagittarius who's begun this endeavor, right? You've begun this endeavor. You've managed to make your commitment, right? And you're committed to it. And now for some of you Sagittarius, this week, in comes your victory. In comes some of this reaffirmation. For those of you who are further along this path and resonating with the same idea, you begin to have affirmation coming in. You begin to have a public victory. Remember, 6 is the number for a journey toward harmony. Right? And so after the Five of Wands, which is a power struggle, here you overcome the power struggle that perhaps you've had with yourself or those around you, obstacles and others. And the victory begins to come in because things begin to work harmoniously. Things begin to work smoothly. And it's a public victory, right? The Six of Wands talks about a public victory, a victory or an accolade, a vindication that comes in that everyone can see. Even the knight, the horse that he's riding, is looking at his rider and he's saying, hey, I checked you. I see you. I see you. I see you got what you said you were going to get. You achieved your goal. We are all looking. We're all watching. And so this is a very public sort of victory. It can often indicate sometimes if you're in the field of doing something that involves the public, it can indicate that you're starting to get notoriety, that you're starting to get a little bit of fame for your skill, right? However, remember this victory is fleeting. It's only temporary. It's only a victory. It's a little victory on the path, right, towards the ultimate goal. So for some of you, this comes in this week and it just reaffirms your intuitive side. It just reaffirms everything that your gut has been telling you that you've been going with, Sagittarius, but it's been hard. because the affirmation, the reaffirmation didn't come right in so quickly. Some of you have started a business, or you've started a career endeavor or a creative endeavor, and it's been a hard, slog, as they say, right? It's been a hard kind of way to go for you for a while. This week you get your victory. This week you double down on your intuitive self-confidence, right? And you resonate with the Queen of Wands, which is so beautiful, because the Queen of Wands talks about she is one of the highest cards in the deck for self-mastery. She's very much in line with Lion energy, because the Queen of Wands is the one who's strong enough really to face anything in life. It's her passion and her desire. She's a Wands. It's her fire that allows her to get through a lot of difficult times, right? And she's changed by those times. She's transformed by those times. So she is the queen that welcomes difficult situations. She's the queen that welcomes transformation, that welcomes obstacles at times. And even if she doesn't welcome them, she is ready to face them head on, because she has already experienced victories before. She's already knows that on the back end of all of this hard work, there's a transformation that comes in that is so worth it. This is really, really lovely spread for some of you Sagittarians who have really had a hard time most recently. And like I said, I'm a Sagittarius myself. I know what this feeling is like when you're kind of all on your own in a way, and you're trying to accomplish something that nobody else has, or nobody else can help you with, because you're the only one trying to do this thing. And then you finally get a breakthrough this week that lets you know you're on the right path. Very nice indeed. And there we have the sun as clarity. Beautiful. There you go. All right, so some of you this week, the clarity certainly comes in with the sun card, right? The sun shines on you, and this is beautiful energy. Again, sun, when the sun comes in, the sun really shines a light on a situation. It makes things clear. A lot of times, abundance begins to come in, rewards begin to come in. It's a way of reaffirming the things that you believed were true. Now the sun comes in to prove that, right? Very nice indeed. This is a feeling of also good fortune coming in. Maybe for some of you who have been dealing with a little bit of rocky road luck, a little bit of negative, just bad luck in trying to get ahead in something. This week your luck changes. It becomes a lot more sort of favorable. A Knight of Wands comes in for you. Now here we're talking about, I want to say this Knight of Wands is very much, and like I said earlier about court cards, they are notoriously difficult to interpret, which is why it's worth continuing to study them always, right? Knights are air and Wands are fire. So with Knights, we have the air aspect of a suit. And so we have the motion, right? This is why Knights are always riding on a horse. We're talking about momentum, air, that movement, that velocity, right? So here we have the air of Wands. And so Knight of Wands is that individual who comes in and really gives you that enthusiastic push that you need, right? They're the great cheerleaders, right? They're the ones who are like, yeah, I'm your knight and I believe in you even if nobody else believes in you. They're often the ones that can stoke your fire again. What stokes fire? When the fire begins to go out, what do you need? You blow on the fire, right? You need more air, you need more oxygen. And so in this way, the Knight of Wands can come in and really sort of stoke your fire when it begins to kind of burn a little bit low, when you've been burning the candle at both ends, when you just have been burned out. The Knight of Wands can come in, and now this can be an energy that comes in as a result of events around you, right? It could be that the situation is beginning to turn in your favor, and so your energy begins to become more enthusiastic and you stoke your own fire. This can also be an individual who comes in and is very, very supportive, right? A friend, a confidant, a family member, whoever, whatever the case may be. This could just be somebody who's also in your field, who's doing maybe the same thing you're doing, and they're kind of cheering you. And what happens with this? Justice comes in and you start to feel a little bit more balanced. It could be that up until now, some of you Sagittarians have certainly been feeling sort of out of balance in a particular situation, as if, you've been, like I say, you've been putting all the work in, but you haven't necessarily been getting the rewards, right? Or you just feel like you've been having to put out one fire or overcome one obstacle after the next, after the next, after the next. You feel like you don't get a break. That's an imbalance. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot of balance comes back. Balance comes back and is restored. Some of you will be indeed getting an actual judgment coming in, an official judgment perhaps, or notification on a situation that you've been waiting for to hear from. And again, it's going to be extremely favorable. All right, guys, this is going to be the last spread. I'm not doing reversals for weeklies. We have 7 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, and 10 of Wands. Again, so earlier when I was talking about self-mastery with the lion, right, and the tiger, this overall theme is certainly for Sagittarians out there who have most recently started something that's been quite scary to do. It's some kind of endeavor. Some of you have been very, very passionate about career moves. You've been very ambitious. You've been trying to do something very ambitious, right? Accomplish something very ambitious. You've been you show fearlessness. Here, the tiger is fearless, right? This is why we're able to face certain scary situations when this energy comes in. It's fearlessness and it's also self-mastery. Why do I say this? Because this final spread that we have shows us 7 of Pentacles. 7 is the number for dreams and aspirations. But with 7 of Pentacles, we talk about looking at the fruits of our labor and reevaluating the fruits of our labor to see, is this the fruit that I wanted? I've tended this garden. I've put all of this hard work in. I've been diligent every day, right? Sweating away, sacrificing. Is this what it was? Was this it? Is this all worth it? Was it worth it? Is this what I really want? And so 7 of Pentacles, we talk about a reevaluation, a time when we really look at our lives and we look and see, where do we need to make changes? Do we need to go down a different path, right? Are we truly happy with the fruits of our labor, right? And this week you begin to think about those things, right? However, you have a 3 of Pentacles also coming in. And so this week, it's quite interesting because you begin to start to have more interest in your work, more interest in your skills or whatever that particular endeavor is. This could be your career path, right? And just as you begin to sort of, and I'm going to say this here, right, is more kind of a little bit of self-doubt, but just as you begin to sort of think, is this it? Things start to move. Things start to move this week. People start to come in. Works, right, start to gain, you increase. People notice you, right? 3 is the number for bonding and loyalty. It's also the number for patience. Sometimes we have to be patient, right? But it's as if, though, like you may have, accomplished so much up until now, but now this week you begin to make quantum leaps again. You begin to increase again, where something may have stagnated before it begins to move along again and progress. Certainly if you're dealing with a particular endeavor that has to do with the public, that needs others, right? In order for it to be successful, we need the engagement of others. This could be a social media thing. This could be a performance thing, an artistic thing. This could be a community activity, right? This could be a community sort of goal, right? This could be a humanitarian field, right? Whatever the case may be, you're dealing with others and their attention on you. And that's what's required in order for this to be successful. And it's very, very beautiful because you come to a 10 of Wands. And a 10 of Wands indicates that this is the end of the hard times. 10 of Wands talks about finally being able to lay down the wands that we've accumulated during a very difficult period, walking a very difficult path with a lot of burdens and responsibilities. This could be the path that you walked in the beginnings of this endeavor, right? The beginnings when it was hard, when you had to carry it all on your own and you began to accumulate these wands, responsibilities, you begin to accumulate baggage, etc., etc., etc. However, all of that difficulty that you've been through, right? everything that you've sacrificed, right? You're able to now lay the hard part of that journey down, and you're coming into a very, very the part of the journey that all of the hard work was for, right? We put the hard work in at the beginning, and we suffer in the beginning because the dividends come later. And the dividends, Sagittarius, for some of you who have been really, really having a difficult time, this could have been financial issues as well. Burdening, shouldering a lot of financial responsibilities and upheaval as a result of trying to accomplish this ambition or this goal, which wasn't necessarily paying you in the beginning. Perhaps it's going to be paying you now, right? The dividends are definitely coming in, and the good times are now starting to come in. The times of reaping are starting to come in, reaping the rewards, and sort of working much more effortlessly because you've put so much time in. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to call it. This was a long reading because I started later at 1:15, and it's a stream reading. But I do hope this resonated for you guys. If it did, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification so you can get notified of all my videos. I do switch it up. My schedule is pretty regular. My regulars know that. My subscribers know that. But the new streaming, I'm going to be trying to stream as many of the weekly readings as I can. The block of fire signs are up now for the weeklies. And later on in a few hours, I'll begin to do the live streams for the air signs. They will be up next. Okay, so that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius is coming up next. And then we will get into the water signs and then the earth signs. But for right now, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for stopping by Bow and Arrow Tarot. Like, subscribe, share, help me build my channel. Share my channel, help my channel to grow. But for now, Sagittarius, have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I shall see you next week for the next week's weeklies. Bye-bye now.